Welcome back to another episode of the Not Your Average Fan podcast. I am Kev, that is Peter. Today, we are talking championships. That's right. Everyone knows I am the champion of this podcast.
Champion of what?
The question is, should we measure greatness by championships? Because Peter could be great.
If that's the case, you're not the champion.
Excuse me?
If that's the case, you're not the champion.
It wasn't your time to speak yet. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and on Twitter, NYAF_pod. We're going to get into this debate, man. Should we measure greatness by championships? There's a lot of great players that do not have a ring. One that just jumps to my mind is Dan Marino. One of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game, never won a championship. And then you have players like Trent Dilfer, who has a championship. What do you think? Like, should we measure greatness by championships?
I don't think so. I mean, where we come from, it's usually always about the championships because, we've been spoiled for years with championships. Yankees dynasty and, your Giants, they won a couple.
Say it loud, say it proud, 2 times.
A long time ago. So,
excuse me?
But
long time.
I think they have the last New York championship, right?
In recent memory, I think
2011.
Yeah.
That's the most recent one in New York. But anyway, even though we've seen a whole bunch of championships, I don't think that we should measure greatness through championships. Because,
the reason this debate comes up is because of a lot of MJ fans.
Of course.
When LeBron James comes into any type of discussion about being the greatest basketball player there is, every MJ fan hits a LeBron James fan with how many rings does he have?
Yep.
How many championships does he have?
You can't blame them, but at the same time, what LeBron did going to, I think it was 9 straight finals. That was incredible. And I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't stand LeBron for a long, long time. I'm a Kobe fan, so it was always like that rivalry there. And even once he came to the Lakers, like I wasn't too happy about it. But Kobe was like, oh, if you're a Laker fan, be happy about it. So I started accepting him. LeBron kind of changed over the years. He's matured a little bit. So I'm not gonna say he grew on me, but I respect the greatness. Like LeBron, I can't take anything away from it. And seeing him go to 9 straight finals on different teams, because it wasn't just with one team, it was with multiple teams. Regardless if he won or lost, you can't deny the greatness with or without the rings. He's got his rings, so yeah, but he also has a lot of losses in the finals. So, do you sit here and say, oh, well, he's got this many losses? Was it 6 losses, I believe?
Just about, yeah.
So, does that make him any less great? I don't think so. I still think he's in the conversation for greatest player ever. I don't think you'll ever hear me say that LeBron's the greatest ever. I think he has the skill set. I think he makes a huge argument for that. But, it's people forget about Bill Russell, who had a ton of rings.
And he's never in the discussion until the LeBron James fan ends up saying, well, if you're going to go by rings, you might as well say Bill Russell's the best.
So,
if you ask Bill Russell, he'll tell you he was the best. So,
yeah,
I think it's not a debate up to him.
Yeah, so it's different eras, so it's hard to compare. But I don't think it's fair to say that. There's a lot of guys, like you said, that you got the Derek Fishers and the Robert Ory's. Robert Ory has a bunch of rings. He's not an elite player. He never was. He's in, he's a role player. He hit some big shots in his career, but I mean,
Here's
and
some. I got some players here. Ty Cobb, one of the greatest hitters, never won a championship. Barry Sanders never won a championship. Barry Bonds never won a championship. Carmelo and Stockton never won a championship. Ted Williams, one of the greatest hitters ever,
some
never
people
won a
say great.
championship.
Yeah.
Dick Butkus never won a championship.
See, I think for baseball it's a little harder because it's, it is a team sport. You only get 3, 4 at bats per game, and the balls only hits you a couple times. So it's a little bit harder in baseball. But like baseball, it's more about the moment, the clutch factor and stuff like that. You look at the stats. Like I think A Rod is one of the greatest players I've ever seen play the game, and he had to go to the Yankees to win his ring. Regardless of whatever he did and the suspension and all that. He had 696 home runs and 3,000 and something hits. So I think even without the ring, he would still, to me, be one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Period. Barry Bonds. Some people tell you, regardless of the steroids, he's the greatest baseball player anybody's ever seen because of the things that he did.
He's definitely the greatest hitter I've ever seen. So I'll tell you right now, steroids or not, he is the greatest hitter I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Um, Ken Griffey Jr. never won a
never won
championship.
a ring.
One of the greatest outfielders slash hitters, both.
One of the most beautiful swings I've ever seen in my life.
There's there's
Don
there's been a
Mattingly.
lot.
If you're a Yankee fan, Don Mattingly, he never won a ring. He got so
He
close.
still hasn't won a ring, not even coaching, and now he has even a worse chance since he's
With the
been
Marlins.
coaching the Marlins. Yep.
So I mean, I don't think it's fair. You got a lot of football players. Look at Calvin Johnson. He retired early. He's one of the best wide receivers I've ever seen play the
And
game.
I honestly feel he retired early because he was getting hit and he knew he was never going to win a ring. And
Yeah,
people get on Kevin Durant all the time. Oh, he bought his ring or he's a
took the
sellout.
easy way.
He
Yeah,
took the easy way. Listen, if your greatness, if most of society is saying greatness is determined by championships, he has his championships.
yeah. I mean, and in football, like you said, Trent Dilfer, he was in the right place at the right time and happened to win. Like look at Nick Foles. Nick Foles. I mean, it was a good he played a really good game that Super Bowl, but he's Nick Foles. What is he doing now? He's doing nothing. So again, right place, right time, right team. So I don't think rings help your resume to get into the Hall of Fame. I think if Eli didn't get those 2 rings, I don't think he wouldn't get into Hall of Fame right away. It'd be very close. He'd be walking the
And
line. So
I wanna apologize. You're the
he's
reason
offended.
why.
He's offended,
You're the
ladies and
reason.
gentlemen.
Yes, you're the reason why Giant fans look at Cowboy fans the way they do. That was one of the worst things I've ever heard of. Eli's a no doubt Hall of Famer,
Nah.
rings
Not
or
without the
not.
rings. Not without those. Eli is not without those 2 Super Bowl runs. Those Super Bowl runs and the Super Bowl MVPs stamped his ticket into the Hall of Fame. But without those, I don't see Eli going into the Hall of Fame at all.
Do you see Peyton Manning going to the Hall of Fame?
Peyton Manning is one of the greatest. Okay, I'm a little biased because
He's
Peyton
a little
Manning,
choked up. Look at him.
he's
Look at
my
him.
favorite
He's a
player of
little
all time.
choked up right now.
But Peyton, the things that Peyton did, he was breaking
What
records.
did he do?
Come on, he was breaking
He
touchdown
lost
records.
playoff game after playoff game after playoff game.
Come on, he's got 2 rings. He beat Brady 4 times.
And
So
Wait a minute.
In the playoffs,
He beat Brady how many times?
4 times.
Okay. Eli's 2 for 2. How many times did Peyton lose to Brady?
Doesn't matter.
How many times did Eli lose to Brady?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Peyton never had the defense that Eli had. But anyway, Peyton, he was breaking records every year. It was a touchdown record, single season passing record. It was every year it was a different record. Even when he got old, he got to the Broncos, he threw 52 touchdowns in a season. So, and that was everybody talking crap with his wobbly arm and the butterfly passes that he was throwing. He still threw 52 touchdowns. So I mean, he was doing it every season. Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne. He did it all the time. So regardless of the Super Bowls, I think
you need to throw your man crush to the side and realize
is a guaranteed Hall of Famer even without the rings.
I'm not debating it. He's not a Hall of Famer. I'm just debating whether he's better than Eli, and that's
absolutely. It's not even a question.
It's an obvious
no. A question. Eli is going to tell you that Payton's way better, not just better, way better.
Oh man, this is getting frustrating. We argue the same thing all the time. Now, just this time, the camera's on, and now you want to flip to say Peyton's better than Eli.
Yeah, I've never said nobody could ever say they've heard me say that. There's only like 2 or 3 quarterbacks that I would ever say are better than Peyton.
Tom Brady.
Absolutely, he's, as much as I hate to say it, he's probably the greatest of all time. Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is better than Peyton.
Oh yeah, he's a beast.
And Eli Manning.
No, it's Brady. It's Brady and Rodgers, then Peyton, then Drew Brees.
Oh, you put Drew Brees under Eli and Peyton.
No, above Eli, under Peyton. But again, I think it's a little ridiculous to say, oh, this person hasn't. You know how hard it is to win a championship? Like, less than 1% of, I think, the world ever gets a chance to win a championship in any sport. So,
and you're right. You know how hard it was for me to be doing this. How long have we been making podcasts? For about
a month,
30 days, 40 days. We've been putting our thoughts together. We have over 11 episodes, and I'm already the champion of all podcasts. And this is an open challenge. I'm looking at you. This is an open challenge to any podcast that wants to come on and try to defend their championship.
He doesn't mean that, guys. He does not mean that. He cannot back that up. That belt that you see on his shoulder was bought, not won. It's plastic. So just ignore what my co-host is saying. It's getting late.
I am a true Yankee fan, first of all. And that's what we do. We buy championships. According to everyone, this is what the Yankees do. We buy championships. There is no evil empire without the thoughts of the Yankees buying a championship. So you know what? I'm a proud buyer and owner of this championship. You come see me. I am the greatest podcast host ever. I will put it on board. Yes.
So let us know what you guys think. Tell us who's the best champion you've ever seen. If
I tell you who the best champion is.
Warning. Warning. Warning.
Right here. Yo, Kev. That's me. Continue.
So yeah, just let us know what you think. Let us know if you think the rings matter, the titles matter. If you have somebody that doesn't have a title and you think they're great, like Dan Marino or anybody else that we haven't mentioned, let us know. We'll talk about it.
That's right. Don't forget to like and subscribe right down below. Let us know how you feel on our Instagram and Twitter, NYAF_pod. I'm Yo Kev. That's Peter. We out.